A very good afternoon to my dear students. Today we are going to do a new lesson, and that is a great leader. Lesson number 8, a great leader. Now this lesson is about Mahatma Gandhi. We all know who is Mahatma Gandhi, right? He was one of the greatest leaders of the world. Other leaders win wars by hurting others and killing them. Mahatma Gandhi did not use any arms and weapons like guns, rifles or bombs, and yet he won the war of India's independence. People lovingly called him Bapu or Bapuji, father of the nation. So people lovingly called him Bapu or Bapuji. Gandhiji was a man of iron will. Iron will means he was very strong, children. If he decided to do something, he did it, no matter how difficult it was. One day, he decided that he would have an early morning prayer every day. So he decided that he would, pray every morning. From that day onwards, he never missed the prayer. So from that day onwards, he never missed his prayer because he decided that every morning he is going to pray. Gandhiji gave a lot of importance to truth, simplicity and non-violence. So Gandhiji gave a lot of importance, children, to truth. Simplicity means you saw how he used to dress up. See, only one shawl and a dhoti. That was his simplicity, the way he used to dress up, and a slipper. And non-violence. Non-violence means he did not like any kind of fight, any abusement. Okay, that is not hurting others. So he did not like to hurt others as well. Gandhiji's dress was very simple. As I showed you the picture of Gandhiji, that his dressing was very simple. So what was that? Just a loin cloth, a dhoti worn above his knees, and sometimes a shawl. So what was Gandhiji's clothes? A loin cloth, a dhoti, that too it was worn above the knees, and sometimes a shawl. Could he not afford fancy fashionable clothes? Of course he could, but this simple loin cloth was a deliberate choice. Now he did this on a purpose. Deliberate means purposely. How did he come to make this choice? Now why did he make this choice? Once Gandhiji was on a lecture tour in Odisha. He was on a lecture tour, means he was giving bhashan, what they say. Usually men and women gathered in large numbers to listen to him. So normally men and women used to gather in large numbers to listen to Gandhiji's lecture in Odisha. However, women were not seen at these public meetings. So women were not seen at these public meetings. On making inquiries, so Gandhiji inquired, what happened, like why I cannot see any women in the lecture? So Gandhiji found out that people in that part of the country were so poor that their women folk had not a decent thing to wear. So when he inquired, he came to know that the ladies over there did not have any decent clothes to wear. That is the reason why they could not attend Gandhiji's lecture. Therefore, they kept away from public functions. Gandhiji was deeply pained to hear this. So he was very sad when he heard that. From that day, he decided to wear the bare minimum of clothes. So from that day onwards, he decided that he will wear only little clothes. Whether it is cold or hot, he never changed his simple dress. Then once he had gone to London to attend a very important conference. King George of England gave a reception to the participants of the conference at his palace. Now when Gandhiji had gone to England to attend a very important conference, there this King George of England was also there. So he gave a reception, means a party, to all the participants that they have to come to his palace. People received by the king have to dress up in a certain way. So whenever you're going for party, you know what clothes you have to wear. You cannot wear any other simple clothes. You have to dress up nicely and go, right children? So same way, when the king was coming to receive the participants, they had to dress up very well. At that time, England ruled over India. So that was the time when England used to rule India. People in England wanted to know if Gandhiji would change the style of his dressing to see the king. Now we know that Gandhiji is always dressed up like this, but because he was invited by the King of London, that king's name was George, to his reception in his palace. So what will Gandhiji wear now? Let us see. Gandhiji made it very clear that he would be dressed in his usual way. Even when visiting the King of England, he would wear the dress of the people whom he represented. So Gandhiji said, I am not going to change. I will wear the same thing what I have been wearing. Gandhiji was not bothered by what style of dress the British approved of. So long as the poor people in his country did not have enough clothes to wear, so Gandhiji did not bother. He said, I am not bothered that what the king has told me to wear. I will still wear the same clothes because the people in my country, they do not have enough clothes to wear. Finally, the king had to welcome at his reception this great man dressed in a simple loin cloth and a shawl. So finally, Gandhiji arrived at the king's palace, and now the king had to welcome Gandhiji. So who was this great man? Gandhiji, who was dressed in a simple loin cloth and a shawl. The king himself was dressed quite extravagantly. Now he was the king and he was giving the party, so he was in the best of his clothes. Gandhiji was asked whether he had enough clothes on for meeting with the king. So Gandhiji asked the king that I have enough clothes, isn't it, because I am meeting you. He replied that the king had enough clothes on for both of them. So he said that the king had enough clothes that Gandhiji and he can share. Millions of poor people in India felt happy that Mahatma Gandhi dressed like them. So millions of people, children in India, they were very happy because Gandhiji used to dress like them, like not much clothes. Although Mahatma Gandhi did not use any destructive weapons, destructive means he didn't wanted to cause any harm to anyone. He never had any guns, any rifles, any swords, any pistols, any bombs. Okay, destructive weapons means those. He had millions of staunch followers. Okay, people who used to believe in him. Gandhiji showed all the suppressed people in the world the new path of Satyagraha. All the people who were very sad and depressed. So Gandhiji showed them a new world of Satyagraha. He is remembered for his greatness not only in India but in all parts of the world. So Gandhiji is not only known in India, children, but in all parts of the world. Now let us see what is the meaning of iron will. Iron will means strong determination. I want you all to make a note of this, okay? The meanings. Iron will means strong determination. Conference. What is the meaning of conference? A large formal meeting where people discuss important matters. Next, bothered. Bothered means worried. Extravagantly, in a way that costs a lot of money, means very expensive. Staunch followers, people who were firm and loyal in following him. So who had staunch followers? Gandhiji. Okay, so now I want you to stick a picture of Gandhiji. Now this was a picture before how Gandhiji used to dress. Okay, you can see a Gandhiji before he decided to use simple clothes. So this is Gandhiji before, okay, and this is Gandhiji when he decided to wear simple clothes. Okay, children. So now for homework, you have to stick a picture of Gandhiji, Mahatma Gandhiji, and you have to write at least about 8 lines, 8 to 10 lines on Gandhiji, okay, in your homework book. This is a homework for you. You have to stick a picture, if you can draw well and good, and stick it or draw that picture in your homework book, and then write 8 to 10 lines about Gandhiji in your homework book. Okay, students, I hope you have understood this lesson. If not, I will explain it again. Thank you, take care, and God bless you all.